Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Dare on Yak Spin. We have a fantastic show for you. A small update to Guild Wars 2, an update on a year-old entry to friendships, and an update to Guild Wars 1?
Yay!
And much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow hosts. She is an editor at Guild Mag, writes for MMORPG.com, and also her own site, MMORly.com. Hopefully her roar is powerful enough to shake the ice from ArenaNet HQ. So hello to Robin.
Right. Roar!
We'll have to check back with, well, I know a couple of them listen to it. Maybe they'll have to turn it up and see if it actually shakes
Trying
out.
to channel the Mordremoth Krakatorik roars.
There you go. Perfect. There you go. We're going back to that Foley work thing we talked about. We're going to see Arlie in the next Living Story. Confirmed. And a member of Delco Nerd Network, where you can hear them talk everything from gaming to movies. And this week, you could also actually catch him on Vote to Kick, where he debated complex narratives. It was entertaining and funny. At one point, they talked about Batman versus Superman and its plot.
Yes!
Plot.
What?
I told you it was
Full
funny.
circle. Full circle.
Wait,
Say
there
hello
was a
to
plot in that movie? Because
There's
Exactly.
a plot. There's a plot.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. This is exciting. Back on,
Yeah.
second time. It's been a while.
Mhm.
Maybe since like the summer? Last time
I think I was the one who was missing when you were on last time.
Oh, you know what? It was the
No,
was it the PAX East week?
It was the
last
PAX
year?
one because
Yeah,
it had
yeah.
to, it was Anthony, Kit, and
Right.
geez, wow, now that's gonna bug me. Yeah, I'm
Ada,
sorry, I
right?
forget the person's name.
Oh, you
Ada,
terrible
Ada.
person.
Ada, yes.
Oh
I want
my
to
God.
I want to say Aiden, which is a Guild Wars 1 character, which we'll get into that. Well,
Oh my God.
for some reason,
Yeah.
that was one of those moments where my brain was like, "I'm just giving you this name. That you're
Yeah.
gonna have to say it."
Well, that makes sense though, because that was when me, Age, and Mouth Annis were all at PAX East, so that would make total sense that you did
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Wow. Does not
Almost
feel
a
like
year.
that. Yeah.
Never do that again. All three of you leaving. Stressful.
You could have come with us. Like
Oh,
we
that's
invited
not an
you.
option.
We were gonna get you tickets.
What you
could've
should have
gone.
done, you should have pre-recorded the podcast, but like just put a wig on yourself and just have a conversation with yourself. Nobody would have known the difference.
Part of me was
Like,
thinking
you
that if
got a
I couldn't
green
have found
screen.
anyone, was literally like pretend to be all of the people, and I was like, that's a lot. But anyway, let
We
us
digress.
jump right into it. So first off, I want to say from the get-go, because I don't know, I feel like since this is such a big story, we're not going to put up a spoiler tag or anything, but we will be talking about episode 5, All or Nothing. So if you haven't played it, go play it. Unless you don't mind spoilers, then feel free to hang out. But
Mhm.
ArenaNet this past week had an interview with Forbes. The writer Heather Newman, who's a games contributor there, actually sat down with Lindsay Murdoch, Armand Constantine, and Mike Z. And Lindsay is the design lead, Armand is the narrative lead, and Mike Z is, of course, the game director. And they actually talked about the big plot point of episode 5 of basically killing off a main character, or like a pretty influential character.
Yep.
Which for people that don't know, seriously, this is your last chance.
Abort.
Yeah. It involved Arene and her death at the very end of All or Nothing. So, still hurts saying.
I know, right in the gut.
Yeah, but they kind of talk about, the bond that is established with Arene, and it's kind of interesting because I think it's Lindsay that actually says like it's from multiple different avenues, like of like how they had to make people care about her, because she, we had her from an egg, we taught her good morals in Tarir and all that stuff, and
What's the actual time frame? How long have we really been with Aurene? It's been like I want to say 2.5 years, but that might be a much.
The in-game time?
Yeah,
No, not maybe just out of game time, not necessarily in game. Like when was the first
they said
update?
That they've been building her story for about 5 years. So,
well, but I mean, how long have we?
No, but that's what they were saying. They've been building her story with us for like 5 years. Because Thorns came out in 2013, 15. No, it was 15.
15, yeah, right. It was 15.
Well, I was gonna say, how far ahead are you going with it? Because I mean, all of it's connected, so you could theoretically say like from the start with like Scarlet kind of led to.
Well, no, I know that's something that Mike Z specifically meant. So I guess maybe he was talking about how they were working on
it, yeah,
developing all of that. So she hatched at the end of Heart of Thorns, right? It wasn't the season after that she hatched.
Yeah, she hatched at the end. But I guess the launch of Heart of Thorns, you could technically say was the beginning. So
right. So
4 years, really? Is it been that long? Oh my god, that is
not quite.
Time is flying.
Yeah, but like 3.5, 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good estimate.
Still hurts. But they kind of they asked the probably questions that everybody was asking and probably trying to theorize, is basically asking about a possible resurrection for Aurene, which I know Lindsay actually says, I'd love to get into the conversation about that if you guys think if that would be a good idea or not. But Lindsay actually says how Aurene lives on in many ways, which
it's interesting.
Yeah,
bit of thing there.
It's like a solid cop-out answer, but it's kind of right in a way. Right. Like she's not wrong, but like that's a good answer to say when you. It's really an evasive answer. Yeah.
It's probably the only answer they can easily give.
Yeah, right. Understandable.
Also, just for background, like for understand like our characters and the people in the world. Like so, the events of Heart of Thorn began at the end of 1329 in game. And we are currently in 1332. So our characters have had a bond with her for a while.
Yeah.
But and even Mike Z even says, definitely log in when new episodes of Living World are released. So of course, I mean, we still have supposedly one more left in the season. So maybe it was all a fever dream. We all were in Morjamoth's blighted pods, and all this stuff leading after the Morjamoth stuff was just fake.
It was all
POF,
dream.
All of season 4, and right, just so we can have Aurene back, please.
We have some other characters die. Some other people will come back too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we just saw Air recently, so anything can happen.
Yeah. And some form of glint with kind of the same realm of the air thing and staff.
Yeah. Which I'm amused that my initial reaction to all of that was like feeling betrayed by Glint. Like I was upset about Aurene, but overriding that was I felt betrayed by Glint. I was like, how could you do this? It was kind of funny.
How could you let this happen?
Right.
Yeah,
and
so
why did we even trust her? Like
her prophecy was that she would die, right? Like just
well, no, Aurene saw that. She saw that. But like we trust pretty much every time Glint says you should do this, we trust that everything will be all right and we do it. Like
Okay.
That's just how it works. And I was like,
refresher.
Why are we listening to Glint anyway? This was all a fake out. She's terrible. She clearly has her own mind, her own objective. Oh God, But
and that's the interesting thing. They actually talk about it in the article, is like that weird juxtaposition of you have kind of Glint's visions, you have Aurene's visions, and we also learn in this episode about not Morjamoth. Wow,
Morjamoth.
I'm really banking on us going back to all back.
I don't know.
We learn about Kragatorg's vision of a world possibly without him, and
this is a cool episode that kind of plays with not only like the in-game expectations of characters, but our expectations, and that's a really cool avenue to dip into. I know Hideo Kojima loves to do that kind of thing, and I feel like not a lot of games really like play with the players' expectations. Like, what do you think, or like what are your experiences? How does that play into that?
Right. Well, also like it's a dangerous thing to do sometimes, because sometimes you can get really big angry reactions from players if they feel like, you know, you've been jerking them around or something. You gotta be careful with how you do it, so that it doesn't feel like, you know.
Chat's saying it's like the Avengers. So this is our snapping? Is this the
It's actually called the decimation. That's the lore term. I'm not kidding. It's called the decimation.
Snapping is great.
I'm ready for them to drop it in Endgame. It's like, the decimation. It's like, who coined that? Who said that?
Right.
And then Ant-Man will say snapping because they'll have the comic relief.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of curious, like, because you were saying, Anthony, that like you don't want to see Arene resurrected in any way. I've seen people split on either way. It's like, so
it just cheapens it, you know?
Right. Like, I agree with you, but I also want her back, so.
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. But like, you know, I would assume that this is pretty much written to completion to a degree, like, you know, especially now. But yeah, like you could write an episode and then like write her back in the next one if you really wanted to, but like having that going forward, having that plot point not resolved but concluded, and keeping with it and going with it and really like building that point up, I think is okay. Not just being like, she's back.
Right. Well, I mean, there are good ways and bad ways to do it. Like, if they essentially just undo everything that happened in this episode, have her back, that would be terrible. But I think there's some way out there where they can like keep the gravity of the situation and everything, but also have her come back in some way. Like, I feel like there's a middle ground there where it would make sense and it would work.
Yeah, and I feel like that could work down the line, like maybe way down the line, not like right now. You know,
I wouldn't want them to repair it in one episode. I would want to see some kind of journey of it, but
or maybe she comes back but isn't alive, but comes back to help us for something, and then she goes away. You know, something like that. Like I can get behind that. I don't think that's cheapening anything, especially if they can explain.
Kind of like what Chad is saying. She might be alive, like Glint is in the mist.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually, I think, what spurred that comment. I looked at it.
That was one thing. So there was something in there. Oh, shit. I don't have it open. Somebody made a comment. One of them made a comment about how Glint said that Arene needed to join her in the mist or something. And I was like, holy shit, you gave away something there. Because, like, that was not a thing that I had really noticed and whatnot. But like, if she needs to join her in the mist, then of course she had to die. Because like, you can't stay in the mist for a long time if you're not dead without dying. Like, it just doesn't work that way.
And I mean, even without that quote, it's still like not far fetched, right?
Yeah.
We do it. We go to World War all the time. I mean, some people do.
Pocket of the mist.
We'll just go there right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I was just imagining, like, at the end of the season, the big reveal is going to be like, "Yeah, there is no world versus world anymore. Krakatoa ate it."
That honestly, if they did it, if they were planning on doing like a whole rework of World v World, that'd be an interesting way to do it.
I think you're onto something with that show comment. Like,
because cool. Like they have been working on redoing it and stuff, and like just reboot the whole thing. Like,
but since most of it's just systems and mechanics, that would be weird. Krakatoa has branded everything into order and systems and alliances?
No. Just wipe it all away. Have it gone for like a month or two. Be like, there is no world versus world. He ate it all.
It's gone.
And then like have it emerge from the mists newly formed, because the mists are weird.
Yeah, remove a game mode for a month.
Listen, an intern tripped over the cord. It's gone. There's no way to get it back.
I can already see the forums and Reddit servers on fire.
I mean, everybody already complains that world versus world is dead anyway, so just kill it for a little bit.
There'd be posts of people saying, why did they have to remove Rory World? And then the other post saying, why didn't they do it to PvP? Like, why couldn't it have been PvP?
That's true.
That's awesome. On point.
And then you would have the other people being like, it was dead anyway. Like,
well, I should take them both.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like, technically the PvP's in the mist too. Can we direct Kralkatork somehow?
Wars 2 is now officially a PvE only game based on lore.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God. Yeah.
ArenaNet, please don't do this. No.
Do it. I dare you.
Be ballsy. Do it.
Yeah, I think that would be the day that all their like customer service people like, I quit. I'm not answering those. Like, I'm not answering nothing. Nope. Moderators are like, I'm out.
Just redirect all the calls and everything directly to the writers. Be like, this is your problem. You deal with it.
This was your doing.
Oh no.
Man. But kind of along the lines of like the whole Arene resurrection thing, and like kind of like how we're saying like maybe they come back in different ways. They do talk about a little bit Kaith being best way I could say it is Arene branded. I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. That's a good way to put it, I guess.
But I think it was Armand who actually said like we are excited about the idea of exploring some of the maternal feelings Kaith developed when she was Arene's caregiver early on, and the chance to heighten that connection between them was definitely compelling. The bond they establish in the branding allows Kaith to understand Arene on a deeper level than anyone else up to that point, and she's able to communicate some of that to us, which felt so wrong when that happened. I was like, I raised her. You just can't. Like, anyway.
Hey, you're not. I don't think you're wrong in saying that, though.
Right.
You got a point. Like, Kaith is just like, hey, what's up?
Right. Well, that was the thing when she first showed up at the beginning of the previous episode, or was it this last episode?
I think it was the previous episode right at the end, I think, right?
All right. And then we have that whole conversation at the beginning of this, and how she felt pushed aside. And I was like, what are you talking about? What did you do? Like, you stole the egg.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh, yeah, when you were their caregiver. Oh, when you stole the egg from me. Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. For me, that whole thing about her and her issues there, it didn't really hit me well, because it was like, what are you talking about? It's like, so I never got upset at what's his face Traherne for stealing our glory in a personal story, but I got my little glimpse of what that felt like for people with Kaith in this episode, because I was like, who the hell are you? You did nothing. Go away. Like, I'm done with you.
It's like, are you sure you were branded by Arena, not like corrupted by Cormier, stealing all of our credit? Like, oh, I raised it. Where were you?
Yeah. So, yeah, I was kind of frustrated by that. And, like, I get it, but still.
But it's interesting how they're saying how the connect. Yeah, but it's interesting how they say, like, as for how that connection might affect Kaith in the future, we'll have to wait and see, which...
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's really not, like, much to go off of. Like, we get, maybe, like, a minute, really, with her.
Like, and the thing is, a lot of what they say, there's a lot of different ways to take that, because, like, you could take it like somehow there's still a connection and she has to deal with that, or you could take it like feeling like what getting this intense, great, deep connection to Arene is like, and then having that ripped away when she was killed, and like dealing with the fallout of that. Like, there's multiple ways to take that. It's interesting.
Well, kind of along the lines of like chat was saying, I hope they make what Kaith is a new race, kind of like dark elves to elves.
Oh,
I don't think we're gonna see a new race. Maybe.
Yeah, there's no way.
No.
I think that's like no. Here's the thing. I feel like they could be interesting, like that, yes, but we haven't gotten a new race yet.
Yeah, I still feel like everybody who's like, we're gonna get a new playable race is like just crazy. It's not happening. Like, I don't see it happening. It could happen, but I don't think it's likely.
But what I was starting to think of was when I was reading this article, especially when they say, as for how that connection might affect Kaith in the future, we'll have to wait and see. What if, and this is a long shot, because she's a dragon minion, and now she's, part of this dragon.
I was like, what? I thought you meant
technically Arene's a dragon minion too. I mean,
oh baby, but okay.
But and what was it when we were fighting Morgemoth? The pale tree got horribly damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Well, supposedly this bond is, what if Arene actually put her consciousness or some aspect of it into Kaith, and now she becomes basically the new like pale tree for the Sylvari, and now it'll be like Arene's the consciousness and lets it go forward. And
I like it, but it's like kind of like removing Kaith from the game. Yeah. Now she's the pale tree. You'll never see her again.
I mean, it does kind of feel like they're slowly axing off Destiny's Edge, so why not?
Oh, I feel like they've totally axed off Destiny's Edge. Not even that they're doing it. It's pretty much already happened, right? Even like
she keeps trying to get in our group. She's like, "Oh, I'm part of your team." I'm like, "Well, you're around for like 2 missions. You stole the egg, and you're saying like you keep wedging yourself in this." Like,
yeah,
when's the last time we saw Kaz and Marjorie?
Is supposed to be here. That's cool, but not so much. You go away.
When's the last time we saw Kaz and Marjorie?
Actually saw them. Oh wow,
it's been a while, right?
I think it was episode 4. We saw them briefly.
Really? I'm trying to think
because I know they briefly mentioned them in 5.
Yeah, I know they get mentioned,
but maybe I don't know if we actually see them since episode 3. It's hard. It all blends.
Yeah,
especially with all the gaps too, and then you play the next episode, and that like kind of takes over that like part of your memory.
Right, like I had forgotten that it was this season that we killed Joko. Like I was like, oh wow, that was only like 2 episodes ago. Holy shit!
It was like 5 months ago, 6 months ago, probably. Right?
Yeah.
I think it was like end of the summer.
Mm-hmm. I think that was it.
Oh yeah, Chad's saying like POF. They think was the last time we saw them. Which
I would go with that. I
thought
really
at
can't
least
remember.
One of them showed up in this season at some point. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I definitely think Cormier showed up at not Cormier.
Cormier.
Cormier, you're here. You're not a meme anymore. Wow.
I mean, we did
POF.
Yeah, Casimir. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I couldn't remember because I was like, Marjorie, who's the other one? But yeah, I think Kaz shows up at some point. But yeah, so a lot of little interesting things for people that have. I didn't even pick up what you were talking about of them saying that like one little bit of line in there that you mentioned. So I'll have to definitely go back and reread and speculate.
It's just something that leapt out at me when I read it. I was like, oh, because like I think the reason it leapt out at me was because when we did the whole mission and get Glint's lair with Arene, and we got to the part where Glint was like, all right, I'm going to go talk to Arene now, his dragon things, and we're going to go do this thing over here. It set off alarm bells to me because I was like,
it's like a secret agenda.
I was like, you can't tell both of us like that. No, there's something wrong with that. And I'm convinced that Glint talked her through the, yes, you're going to die, but this is why it needs to happen, and worked with her on being okay with that, but knew if she told us that, we'd be like, no, we're not doing this plan. This is a terrible plan, So then when they made a comment about like her needing to join Glint in the midst, was still in my brain. So that's why
I thought they said that when she ran through the portal. I just assumed that it was like let me talk to you, like, so maybe I just thought of it as that, but
right.
Now I want custom dialogue in the game where, like, because now when you were saying that, well, yeah, like because like you were saying, like they won't speak in front of us. It's like I wanted my character to be like, oh, Glint, you probably think Kaith is the caregiver too, huh? She did everything. Like maybe you want Kaith in there so that you guys can all talk about it.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. They need to speak of Ascension. All right, that's.
Which again, like within the game, Ascension means one thing, but Ascension has a lot of possible meanings, and some of them imply death.
Well, I mean, Ascension was the process of being taken in Guild Wars 1 to the Hall of what was the PvP place?
Hall of Heroes. Yeah, pretty sure.
It was like the Golden Palace thing and a part of the Mist. So I mean, it's kind of along those lines. I mean, she technically, I guess, had to fight a doppelganger like thing in that thing, and we helped her.
Rock, yeah. Good mission. Good times.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe her being in the Mist isn't so far fetched. I mean, especially.
Yeah, definitely not.
But any other thoughts on the article itself?
I kind of have a, it's not really related to the article, but Arlie, did you know Forbes had a games division?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
You know okay, I feel like I've definitely read Forbes articles about games before, but I didn't realize like there was like somebody with games contributor as like a title. That's pretty cool.
Yep. A lot of the more mainstream ones started branching out into that a few years ago. So
yeah, because I even noticed like dope. The games contributor, it sounds like Forbes will take credit until it's controversial, because I think it says contributor. It literally says when you highlight over contributor, it's like
it's more of like a freelance thing. So like she's not on staff, but they have Forbes, her probably regularly do articles for them.
Because it even says in the area, it's like her view, like a contributor's views are their views and have no relation to Forbes. Blah, blah,
it makes it easier if you ever drum up a ruckus for them to just quietly get rid of you without having to actually fire you and do all of that stuff.
Interesting. Cool.
Well, she got that little bit of news out of there. So give her a job, Forbes. But yeah. So moving from that, it looks like this week we got a patch.
We can call it that, sure.
Yeah, it was mostly bug fixes and like little tweaks and stuff like that, so not too much to go over besides gem store stuff, which we'll talk about later. But unfortunately it was delayed, I think about a full day.
I think it was just a full day.
Yeah, due to weather conditions in Seattle. So, and I know they're still going through some right now on Saturday, so everybody around there, be safe, stay warm, and don't delay another patch.
Coming in hot.
But like I said, there wasn't too much patch notes worthy wise, just because, like I said, it was like little tweaks and bug fixes to like the story and so. But we'll have the links in the description, all that stuff. If you do want to check it out, you can see for yourself that besides Gem Store, there wasn't too much. But though I know we talked about the last couple weeks the friend/ships contest, and they actually did a 1 year later with Sheila's story, which I guess she submitted this last year, her Guild Wars 2 friendships, and she talked, and it was kind of basically an update on that, and she kind of goes over, she plays the game with her daughter, and now that her daughter's like married, has kids, she actually has accounts ready for her grandchildren, which I was like, oh, that's
kind of weird. Really?
Yeah. Kind of weird. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest.
Honestly, it's
I mean, like, I would think that the kids, if they wanted their own accounts when they exist, because she doesn't have grandkids yet, right? Like,
no, I think she does, but I think she says like when they're old enough.
No, I think they're like really little.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, like, I would think they would want to choose their own account names.
Well,
like,
that's a good point.
Yeah, Grandma.
Like,
yeah, don't call. Why am I Snooky Wookums .1059?
Yeah, seriously. So I mean, it's sweet, but a little weird.
Well, maybe since they gave her 1 year later, maybe the Arena's going to Arena give them like one free for each grandchildren's account, like one free rename,
right?
Just in case. Who knows? But yeah, she also said that she loves doing this stories together with her daughter since they don't have as much time.
Mm-hmm.
But there was also the line, I think near the end, of like she was basically saying like how her guild has always made the difference in being able to fully enjoy all aspects of the game, as there is so much to do and achieve, which kind of made me like, I was sitting there going, is this really like a unique thing? Because I know personally for me, I stayed in WoW a lot longer, and I think everybody with any game out there that's been a social multiplayer type game, you probably stayed in a game longer than you probably would have because of friends or, you know, in a good guild, you know, in a solid guild. So I don't know. It was just kind of weird when I think that was like one of the last things, and I was like, I don't know. For me, I guess as someone that played other games, it didn't seem like a unique Guild Wars 2 friendships thing. It was kind of just like
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's generally true too. Like, I was most active in Guild Wars 2 when we were doing guild missions regularly, and we regularly did fractals and like all the other things together. And since we stopped doing that because there's never been new guild missions, and
that's why my guild stopped them too.
Yeah, I mean, it just got boring after a while doing the same exact things every time. But I stopped playing as much as I do a lot from that. I basically play when there's updates now, or when I remember to work on something.
Yeah, kind of the same way. And I kind of like hate saying it. I think last year, 2018, was the year that Guild Wars 2 really weaned on me for the first time. Like, where I really was just like, I don't really want to play. Like, I just don't.
Right.
Not because I dislike the game. I just feel like, I've done a lot in the game at this point, and, it's finally hitting its stride, and I'm playing tons of other games anyway, so it's not like I really mind.
Cycles.
And I think that strikes true as like, and I guess it kind of goes back to, and I know a lot of people had this criticism with the last year's friendships thing, was I know a lot of people that I played Guild Wars 2 with, like we were playing Warframe, we're playing it but the relationship started in Guild Wars 2, which is what I think they were looking for ideally, and and I think this does maybe show how they might be going with this, if they're going to be doing it every year, which might, I mean, I don't see why not, but because I know a lot of people were complaining last year of, oh, Arena approached these people or ahead of time. So it sounds like the ones that entered last year are the ones that are the examples this year, and probably the ones that enter this year are going to be the examples for next year, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Which I think
they
helps
did like
answer
a video
that question
too, right?
For this one or
for
last year? Yeah, they did a.
I think there were videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I remember watching them.
So I think that might help answer those questions of how people were complaining last year and leading up to this one when they first announced it. They're like, oh no, they're doing it again. But I kind of wish they would have explained that, where it was like, oh no, the entry, like last year when they were saying like, this is a sham, so-and-so was contacted ahead of time, but these were supposed to be the examples.
Right.
Type thing where it's like, I wish they would have just said right then and there, was like, oh, the ones we're gathering this year are going to be the ones we use for next year. Because, I mean, were they trying to keep this a surprise? Or I'm curious of why they maybe just didn't say that, and would have probably stopped a lot of the anger towards it. Because I still think it's like, what, while we're sitting here going, this seems like a general guild in gaming type thing or community type thing, and I really don't think that this is for the more hardcore or dedicated player base to gravitate towards. It's probably for a passerby in gaming.
Yeah, I think it's cool. It's kind of a little cheesy the way they're marketing it. Like, imagine if they just came out with a piece or an article or a video that was about this. I feel like it would be appreciated a little more rather than making it like a campaign or something. Because like I've definitely had these kind of experiences. Like, not to go into a story real quick, but a guildie from Maven I found out was living in Philadelphia. And I ended up going to his wedding, which is cool. Go to a guildmate's wedding. That's off the bucket list.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like, I think it's dope. It's just a little, the marketing's cheesy.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were probably trying to figure out a good time for it to be thematic, and probably around Valentine's Day is probably the closest to relationship, friendship type thing.
Right.
So. Love.
But any other thoughts on the friendships article of Sheila's story? I mean, if you guys want to read it, like I said, if you want to read it, link is in the link is in chat, but also if you're watching this on YouTube, link is in the description. But I don't know how to segue to this. But, I tried looking it up because the Tournament of Legends, we were talking about this last week, where you could, if you enter, you could possibly win a legendary of your choice, apart from Eternity, which is the double combined legendary greatsword.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like the EU one is actually occurring right now. If you're watching this live, I think it's happening right around this time. Georges, who is an avid Twitch streamer, actually threw out there that while people that are in the tournament might stream it themselves, people in the ArenaNet partner program could also be streaming it as well, because they do have access to the spectator mode. So just to keep that in mind, if you're watching, maybe your favorite Twitch streamer, if they're a partner, they could probably have access to it. But I was seeing, because I was wondering if it was going to be done by this point, because like I said, I think it started right at like 4, like when we go live. So I wasn't sure where it would be at in roughly an hour in. So, but yeah, it looks like it might still be going on. So
yeah, it definitely is. Jabra is still streaming it. So I would admit, well, that is NA, but not the EU side. So I'm not sure.
So definitely, go check that out. If you're watching this live right now, you can do a multi-Twitch. You don't have to leave us. But yeah, definitely check that out, and good luck to everybody out there. Hopefully you got, I wish you all could win, but
give me my participation medal, please.
But any other thoughts on the Tournament of Legends?
Nope.
Should have made a team. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I haven't played PvP in like a year. I was saying that on Vote to Kick this week. I was like, wow, it's been a while. Like, I think after I got my back piece,
right after the in a year part, like I haven't played PvP.
Really? Not at all.
I might have gone in once or twice.
I was going to say, I remember you going in once or twice, but
weren't you just on a stream when they were doing it? Weren't you guys?
I think I popped in and talked. I didn't go play.
Talked. Oh, I thought you were. Oh. Okay, interesting. Very interesting.
That's gotta be some kind of, like, if we ever make it big, that'll be a stretch goal for like donation to charity, and I'll play. I'll play PvP. But yeah, it's all well and good. Tournament of Legends, you're making a new legend, but you could be a legend in the past, in the history of Tyria and Guild Wars itself. Because actually, Guild Wars 1 got an update. That's right, Guild Wars 1. It got a bigger update than this week in Guild Wars 2, which, wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
Not a huge one. Not a, like, there's not like new. Well, I guess there's new content. They have new items that will upgrade, but not what you're thinking. But yeah, we're not finally getting our Alona Guild Wars Beyond.
Oh my god, that'd be cool.
I haven't forgotten. It was nice little quality life stuff. Yeah. Confirmation window when selling golds and greens, which for people who don't know, greens are actually valuable in Guild Wars 1, unlike you know, Guild Wars 2.
The best quality, right?
It was kind of like a named piece. Like it was basically gold stats perfected.
But it was yeah.
It was the best quality stuff, but yeah, it was kind of like a unique skin usually on them, and but also hotkeys for heroes 4 through 7, so like you could direct them easier, and I'm sure that'll make sense for people that play Guild Wars 1. Also something we've had in Guild Wars 2, the item rarity borders for items, so I guess that's nice. And probably the biggest thing, which I'm surprised that they did it, was inventory upgrades. So they increased the number of slots in the Zunlai storage pane from 20 to 25. Also added a new Superior Rune of Holding bag upgrade that will increase inventory bags to 15, and also added a new Rune of Belt Holding upgrade that will increase inventory belt pouches from 5 to 10 slots. Like, I don't, like, Guild Wars 1's been out for 10 years now? Plus?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The last patch we got for the game was August 31st of last year.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, okay, literally
August 31st, that might have...
There's one thing. There's one thing on this day, and it was fixed a bug that caused channel filters to behave incorrectly. That's the patch.
Oh.
Nice.
But I think that was it for last year. I think there was some patches like a little bit before that, but like
yeah, it's just so interesting that they had such a big update for a game that is kind of in, for the most part, autopilot. Like, I mean, I think they have like 1 or 2 devs on it that
one or two. Really, that's interesting.
I heard people throwing around the number like 2, like somewhere like 2 or 3 or something like that. I think
that's not weird. I would just like wonder like what do you do? like you're like, yeah, your game's literally on autopilot. Like you're done. Your job's done.
Yeah. In chat saying there was the graphics update that happened right after the servers exploded. So, but yeah, I just find it interesting that they. I mean, it's nice that they're still updating it. I guess it goes to show that, you know, you definitely, if you have played it, and because they have the Hall of Monuments stuff linked up that you can get special skins that you can't get in game, you don't have to worry about it going away if you buy it, which I mean ultimately, what do you guys think of the update to Guild Wars 1? I mean,
it's fine. It's nice that they did something. I know not a lot of people, but I know there are still people who really like playing it and have fun with it. So,
yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's definitely, I think, a good answer, because, you know, it's still like people still go back and play it, and I'm pretty sure there's probably a niche community who still sell like weird stuff in Commodon. But you know, I think the patch was like really put out for, you know, what's probably our next topic, right?
Probably. And chat's saying they're pretty sure that they don't work on Guild Wars 1 full time, which probably
yeah I figured. I still want to know what they do.
Right.
Log in every day, just check things out.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately my question is, does this entice you to go back and play, or maybe pick it up for the first time? I mean, all the skins floating out there for Guild Wars 2. It's like an investment into Guild Wars 2.
If somebody saw that patch notes, would be like, "Wow, I really want to play Guild Wars 1 again." What? Nothing happened.
I remember when we used to bring this up, and like when Steam would have a sale or something, how confusing it was to tell people how to get things because the awkward bundling they had. Luckily,
so what was the bundling? So I know Eye of the North is really the only separate, like, I don't know what they call it, but I know everything else is the campaigns.
Yeah, they had a Game of the Year edition, which I think had all 3 campaigns. Then they had separate editions where it was like you could get one of the core chapter games and the expansion. So there was basically 4 bundles that didn't cover everything.
So you pick which campaign you want? Is that what you mean? Or one of them isn't Prophecies?
Well, yeah, you could. There was bundles where you could pick there was one bundle that was Prophecies and Eye of the North, and the other one was Factions and Eye of the North, and the other one was Nightfall and Eye of the North, and then there was the Game of the Year one, or the one version that just had all the campaign, like all the 3 main campaigns, but not Eye of the North.
Yeah.
So it was like, they had nothing that covered everything. But luckily, like you were hinting at, this week they actually solved that, and they finally came out with the Guild Wars 1 Complete Collection. And I mean complete. Well, little caveat there. Here's my thing.
Why now? Why did it take so long? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, this is really cool. Don't get me wrong, but like, what? Like, what? Wouldn't this have made sense like a year before like Guild Wars 2 came out, right? Or like when Guild Wars 2 came out? I feel like we're really late on this. Like, where was this like years ago?
Maybe it's so the people that do the podcast and stuff no longer have to be like, well, here's this bundle that does this and this one and this one, and like these there were so many bundles. This is one of the ones. I know people joke about it with Anthem and other games that had a chart. This one needed a chart.
Timely reference. I love it.
Yep.
But they finally did a complete collection for Guild Wars. It is $39.99 USD. Includes an access key for account creation, access to the full original Guild Wars Factions, and Guild Wars Nightfall campaigns, access to Guild Wars Eye of the North expansion, though that will require a level 20 character. Access to the Hall of Monuments in Guild Wars Eye of the North, where you can basically, as we were talking about, earn exclusive rewards in Guild Wars 2. Also Guild Wars Game of the Year edition bonus items, they're basically 7 unique looking skins. All you gotta do is, if you have this, type in /bonus, and it actually throws them all in your inventory, whether you like it or not. Especially if you only need one, I've had to do that. It's type /bonus, and then you're spending like 5 minutes deleting everything. But also bonus mocks, which, if you're familiar with Guild Wars 2's, what episode was it? Season 4. Which one was Draconis Mons?
Maybe episode 4. I'll take a guess.
Sounds about right. But we actually find the kind of dilapidated Mox Golem there, and so you can kind of figure all that stuff out in Guild Wars 1. So
I wonder if like even more, so like we have the next episode coming. I wonder if even more than, so this last episode we went to Thunderhead Keep and all of that, which was a big thing and had a lot to do with Guild Wars. I wonder if the next episode has even more to do with the Guild Wars stuff and takes place in like iconic places in that game. So maybe that's why they're doing the timing of this now.
That's an interesting theory. You could be right.
Or maybe since this one was so heavily like with, Glint, and like this was a lot of prophecy stuff. We were in Thunderhead Keep. I mean, well,
right.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
Or maybe this is signifying that this is maybe the last of like the prophecy stuff. Because I mean, we had the Mersat come back. They really didn't do anything for that, which is kind of a big surprise with that. I mean, so maybe this is the last kind of Guild Wars prophecies stuff. So maybe they finally decided.
After this, we're moving completely away from Guild Wars 1. It's all done. It's all new stuff.
No, that's why I said prophecies, because I'm sure people will be like, we're going to Cantha. Because we kind of did alone.
It's really the only thing they haven't really like dipped their toes back into. I mean, they kind of like.
What
really
if this season ends with us going back to Cantha?
Just going on. The whole episode is we're riding a boat over, just like.
And we see it, and then.
No, the last moment, the last moment is Cantha, and that'll be the beginning of the next season. Is
Guild Wars 2, Cantha. That's the expansion. Cantha.
But I did say caveat there because they say finally a complete collection for Guild Wars, but if you want like the full lore experience of it, there is a bonus mission pack that I think is $9.99. So I mean, still it's, you know, a $50 game.
Those. I never got them.
They're pretty good. I think it, like, they take place of, they kind of give you the first interaction between Joko and Tarai Asa before the events of Guild Wars 1. The slight events before Guild Wars 1 with Master Togo and the I think making a treaty with the Tengu.
Yeah, is Brother Menlo in that too?
I think he is there at a certain point. It's been quite a while.
I know they Brother Menlo was.
Yeah, he taught underneath.
Yeah, I think he is, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, also what happened to Gwen between the events of Guild Wars Prophecies and Eye of the North, and what was what's his name? Saul D'Alessio, basically selling his soul and his people to the Mossad.
Yeah, and if you played the Bastion of the Penitent raid, that kind of goes into that as well. So that's pretty cool. It's cool that they're kind of doing this, but it just seems weird. Like, why? Like, again, like a few years a little late, but like I guess better late than never, right? Not that people are clamoring to play I guess last generation, for lack of better terms, MMO.
Well, and maybe also something to do with like a good opportunity of the whole, even with the most recent story with the Ritlock, like kind of throwing away the sword. That's the only way to get the sword in game is play Guild Wars 1. So that might be another slight little thing.
Yeah, my issue with Guild Wars, the original Guild Wars, and going back to play with it, and you know this already, Deo, because I've said it many times, is that it annoys me not to be able to jump. And like that sounds stupid, but it's also because like the ability to jump changes the way you traverse the world in very fundamental ways that you don't even realize. Like, you know, when you're running down a ramp that goes around to the side, you can't just jump off the side because you can't jump. Like, it's not a thing. So like things like that, it makes it really difficult to me because I'm just so used to being able to do all of that in a game. And when you run into those walls and it's just like, ugh, why?
Not to go on a tangent, but I think that's a great kind of point I have against why WoW Classic is not going to do as well as people think. It's a huge point. It's going to be cool for a week, and then everyone's going to be like, well, I'm done.
we can talk about that more in depth after show, because I have words after playing the demo and all of that.
And I think you guys bring up good points about that. Is for people that are looking for this, like if you love Guild Wars 2, just take it with a grain of salt. Maybe go watch like old Let's Plays of it. I know One Potatoes did a lot of playthroughs of it, so I'm sure people are familiar with him. But it plays very differently than Guild Wars 2. I mean, that is very important to note. So don't.
Like even the feel of everything is different, because like in Guild Wars everything's from the human perspective, whereas Guild Wars 2 right from the start was everybody, and like it was more encompassing and diverse in like the perspectives. And even if you were playing as a single race, you still had a lot of interactions with the other races and stuff, which really makes it feel like a very different game, in my opinion.
And you can pretty much play Guild Wars 1 entirely single player if you really wanted to.
Oh yeah, with the heroes and stuff, especially with the little additions they added to it, you basically can kind of turn it into like almost a RTS style, like move the people, control their things. It's like,
and I mean, if you want to just get the lore, you could. It might be a little difficult at some points, but yeah, it's definitely possible.
And for people that are avid watchers of the show, in case you think I forgot, Arlie, you can jump in the game, /jump. Oh my God. Every time you bring it up, I have to bring that
up.
No. Not the same. It's not the same.
With my ion wings. Oh, that's a game.
Oh my God.
But all the nostalgia flooding back. Yeah, you can make 8-man Paragon teams. Yeah, there's a lot of heroes, so you can
Paragons.
If all the people that were mad about multi-boxing, maybe that's why they brought it out too. All the people that are mad about multi-boxing, all the heroes, you feel like you're multi-boxing in that one because you can control all of it.
Yeah. And you can actually bring over your other characters from your account as heroes.
Wow.
Which I never did. I played like one.
Well, that was an additional charge.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
wow.
I would imagine it works pretty well if you have a good build and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I never did it. I literally had one character in Guild Wars 1. I played one character, and that's it. I had like 2 alts, and I never touched them.
That's amazing.
I had loads.
But different times.
Was it the max level in original Guild Wars only like 20 or something?
Yep.
Yeah, it was 20.
Solid 20. And it took a hell of a long time in Prophecies. I played Prophecies when it was the only thing out.
Slow
I was
roll.
in 5th
Every
grade.
other one.
Great times. It took forever. It took forever to get to 20.
Oh my God.
It was just such a slog, and then factions like totally changed it.
See, look, Hat's looking at the bright side of it. One good thing about no jumping is you don't have to deal with random bugs that ramp up fall damage 1,000%. Turning stairs into death traps. So.
It's a way to look at it.
Fun.
Honestly, we're going through all these things. I think the release of this complete edition for Guild Wars was the great solver. It solves the multi-box issue. It solves, if you want to get the fiery dragon sword, it's like, way to go, ArenaNet. Now, I think I see why you released it now.
I understand.
Yes. I see your vision like Aurene saw Glint's.
Oh, jeez.
And then saw a crystal go through her head.
I believe that.
But you're a champion. You're a legend in Guild Wars 2. Now you're a legend in Guild Wars 1. Now you gotta look the part, right? So this past week,
you're too good at this, man. There was no
this last week, I saw a tweet from Wild Bangerang. Love that name.
I do too. I can never remember it, but I love it.
Yeah, they actually tweeted out to Guild Wars 2 kind of saying, oh, would you guys be interested in some like official licensed merchandise? And actually I grabbed some things from their website of like some of the other, they do a lot of gaming stuff, but they also have like, I think I saw some like pro wrestling stuff on there. I saw Macho Man, so yeah, they're getting my vote. But it does seem predominantly women's clothing, like they see like leggings and tank tops, but they did have men's stuff.
Things, but that's one of the things that they're really known for, especially like their leggings and stuff.
Yeah, when I saw the leggings, it reminded me of like I remember the advertisement from WoW, like, and I have a couple screens of from their website of like the female ones and the male ones, but like they are fantastic looking, like I was starting to do fashion or sorry, not fashion frame, wrong game, Fashion Wars, out of here, because I was like, there was like for the female one, it was like the, I don't know, one of the dresses and like the leggings like kind of matched. I'm like, that would be perfect. I'm like, what am I doing? But yeah, it looked like predominantly for the men. It had like jerseys and lounge pants.
Yeah, they do dresses and stuff too. Their stuff is really high quality too. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I just can never remember the name for. I don't know why. It's like the coolest name ever. But I'm always like, hey, what's the name of the place that makes the awesome leggings for WoW? Like to my friends, and they're like, oh, Robin.
Do you know the Skrillex song Bangarang?
I don't think so.
There's a Skrillex song called Bangarang. That's the first thing that popped in my head.
I have to look that up.
I mean, would you guys want like this, like these Guild Wars? I'm not even finished with it, and Arlie's already like, I'm on like throwing her wallet at this like
literally take my money.
Yeah, like why not?
Yeah. No, I'm curious. Like,
I don't really know what legs they could do, but
they had like dragon scale ones, so
right. They do all kinds of things. Like some of the stuff isn't even like, oh my god, is that a corgi one?
Sorry. I think it was a fox one.
Oh, okay. But like just like, you know, they could take like different outfits in game and make them real and inspired. They could take, you know, things that are themed after a character. You know, like I could see something Casimir being like pink with like feathers and stuff and pink and white.
Yeah, but we know Casimir doesn't wear clothes. It's all illusion. I don't think they should sell that.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of like the iconic sets and like the legs like don't come into my head. But yeah, like I'm sure like even some of the WoW ones, like you don't really think about like the legs, but like when you see it, you know it.
I think they should somehow get ambrosia in there somewhere. I will buy it if they get like an ambrosia type thing. The best focus skin ever.
What, the Beerstein thing?
Yeah. The only focus for a Norn. Jess, Cass. But yeah, I honestly, I think it would be great, and I'd like to see what kind of, I guess, skins they could kind of transform into the jerseys or the leggings or the. But yeah, if you're gonna do Guild Wars 2 stuff, do some men's stuff, because I'm seeing some of those jerseys. Like I want to get a piece of this.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find the jerseys.
I forget where they were.
I'll go to the WWE one. No.
But I know they have like Warhammer ones and like, you know, lots of different games, even like Harry Potter stuff. So, but
it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see. Do you feel like I want to ask you guys this question? Do you feel like Guild Wars 2 like promotes its merch stuff enough? I know it exists, but I feel like they don't tweet about it at all. And then I go on the site, I'm like, what the hell? There's a lot of shit on here. Like I never heard of like any of this stuff.
Yep, there's a lot. Yeah, I wish they did more with that.
Is it because it's third party? Do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think that's a part of it, but who knows?
Kind of seems a little weird.
It kind of happens in spurts, because I know they sometimes on their guild chats they actually have like the little front runner thing of like the Forged by fans like kind of little ad thing, so they kind of publicize it on their guild chat streams. I don't know if it makes it to the actual recording, but I would imagine. But new gem store outfit that's digital copy of one of these pieces of clothing with a Guild Wars 2 armor skin on it. That's what they should do. Put the outfits and put them as like, there you go, onesies or whatever. Where are they, the Kigurumi or whatever they're called? Boom. There you go, ArenaNet.
They have DC ones?
They have a lot of things. It's crazy.
We lost Anthony. He's like,
I'm gone.
He's like, how much more time's left?
Can I get some?
But yeah, I hope this kind of goes through, and it seems like they were kind of like gauging the audience on Twitter or something. Hopefully this is already happening behind scenes, and soon. That
could have just been like a tease, and maybe not really gauging, but they're like doing their own behind the scenes thing, or maybe they're doing it and they
Quaggan Kigurumi it would. There you go, ArenaNet.
Yes.
Oh boy. I would never go to another. I would never go to a convention if I knew everybody was, because I would have a feeling everybody would follow me around with a Quaggan outfit.
I actually, when we thought you might go to PAX East one day, I was going to make a little aviator Quaggan for you.
Oh yeah, because you're stupid mail carrier.
I was going to give it to you with a real balloon and everything.
He's like, I don't want that.
I would have to feel bad about what I would have to do to it afterwards, because you put time and effort into it.
Choya leggings.
Oh my gosh.
Practice, essentially.
Yeah. So yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of ideas. I mean, can't wait to see if it goes through and what kind of things that they have in store. But yeah, I mean, this happens. You're looking fabulous in real life. Now you gotta make your characters once again look fabulous in game. How you gonna do that? Gem store. And always thank you to Dolphy.net. Check out Dolphy.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. First up, we have the Flying Boar Glider for 500 gems. And it is dyeable. I believe it has 2 dye channels, as you'll soon see. But and it does make pig sounds, like it makes squealing noises.
Oh yes. My god!
So definitely go check it out on Dolphy's website because
it does make a pig sounds noise. Oh my god!
Yes, so you could actually hear it in full effect. It's
my immersion is gone.
Yeah, I definitely not for me.
Definitely not for me either.
But it is nice they're adding like the thematic sound effects to it, like a squealing pig.
Right.
But
as it falls and plummets, it's dead.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. Wow.
Oh, the dye channels are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty, like, they show up nice as Dolphy's going through different ones.
Yeah. See, and I know like if Malthanas was here or something, they'd be like, well, don't you have your golden pig mini pet? I do. But I don't know if I don't know if I could get the golden color on that to make it worth it.
Yeah.
Because
but it's like a totally different looking pig. Like this pig, that pig is like actually looks like a pig. This pig is like a cartoon pig.
Yes, definitely.
Like a Macy Days float.
It actually is a warthog. It has tusks, so
true.
Yeah, getting real scientific here.
Well, yeah, I think it is an actual flying boar.
It is a boar, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so you can pick that up for 500 gems if you so desire. Also, we have a new item, the Earth Shaker mining tool, and I believe the glyph on it is 33% chance to get cloth when you mine with it. So, but you can see the animations there. And you get it for 1,000 gems, and it is an unlimited gathering tool, but it is just for mining, just so you know.
It's pretty cool. I actually like it. I don't know if I'd buy it, but I definitely wouldn't cross it off.
Yeah, and I heard a lot of people kind of sad by it because they're like, I wish like some of the like elementalist skills or something like that would be kind of that, like especially in Earth Attunement, be that kind of, I don't know,
detailed or cool,
or that like that the animation would stay around that long, because I don't know. I'm trying to think of like some of the elementalist skills, and especially in Earth, they don't really stick around.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, if you're going for that full effect, you can pick it up for 1,000 gems. Would you tell people to run out and get either of these 2 new items?
Nah. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, mining tool, if you want the mining tool, but actually a lot of the returning items, which we'll get to, they actually brought back a lot of unlimited gathering tools like the flutes. And
I would say a lot of people probably have unlimited mining tools already too, which kind of like, hey. Like,
I don't have any.
Really? None? I bought all the first ones.
Don't you have 5 sets?
Oh, she's joking.
7.
Jesus. I have the Watchwork pick, the Tequatl pick, the Clown Jack-in-the-Box one, the Lightning Axe, Chopping Axe.
Oh, that one's cool, yeah.
The South Sun pick, or harvesting thing. So all like the first few, I have them all. And then
I think I have the first 2 sets worth that they brought out, but I wish I didn't have the Jack-in-the-Box one. Like, I wish I could trade that out for something.
It's terrible. I hate that one.
Yeah.
I basically got it because I wanted a second set to transfer around my characters. And I'm like,
exactly.
Oh, they probably, for some reason in my head, I was like, oh, they probably won't make a lot of these.
Was I wrong?
Yeah, you missed the mark on that one.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
funny
know what
'cause,
I
like,
was thinking.
I don't even play my alts enough to like even matter. Like my one alt has a few like the two others that I'd extra, but like I have a lot of the frostbitten gathering tools that I still have laying around, like, and they're pretty much like unlimited if you have a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
No, like I pretty much only play my ranger, my elementalist, and my necro. Those are the main ones I play. All the other ones I don't. And I still have 7 sets. They're all on characters. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
My Revenant has them because she has all my flutes. Because I was like, that'll work with her. She can play the flutes. Like, it's
Get a theme going.
yeah, it's terrible. If they had made the Lucky Dog one a set of all 3, I would have bought those ones. They just did them. I think it was mining or lumber, whatever it was.
Trust me, that's why we look at you crazy, because we know you only play 3 and you have 7 sets.
I only play one character, and I don't have that many.
Yeah.
For the most part,
But
at least.
some of the other returning stuff is the Lion Mask skin, which is 35% off for 195 gems. The Dragon Mask skin, 35% off, once again for 195 gems. The Season 1 Memory Box, which is of Flame and Festival, which is 200 gems for 1, 1,500 gems for 10. And they also have the Season 1 Memory Box Scarlet versus Lion's Arch, which is 200 gems for 1 again, and 1,500 gems for 10. And these are basically, they have a chance of having stuff from that particular point in time, from the events during that time, as drop, but they also give you nostalgia tokens that I guess you can buy things outright. But yeah, so I never dabbled with those. I maybe because I was there for the event, but I remember when they first came out. I don't know. Did you guys ever pick up any of those memory boxes?
Nah.
No, I didn't. I passed on them.
I kind of think the Lion and Dragon Masks are pretty cool because they're like Guild Wars 1 items originally.
But they also are just cool in and of themselves, even not considering that.
I would definitely recommend the Dragon Mask. I use it on my Norn Revenant.
Yeah, you do it all the time. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
Out, man.
I got some great photos with me and Irene, like through the years of her growing up.
There was a dragon, a lion, and there were a few others in Guild Wars 1,
I think they had the panda, or
really?
No, it had maybe it was a bear.
No. Boy right now.
Yeah, I don't. While you look that up, I'll go through the other stuff that's returning. So, of course, since we're around the Valentine's Day, they have the box of chocolates returning for 250 gems, bouquet of roses for 250 gems, the wedding preparation package for 1,560 gems, which includes the wedding attire outfit, the name change contract, the total makeover kit, bouquet of roses, and the 5 teleport to friends. Which nice. You can also get the wedding attire outfit separately, which honestly I would recommend that as an outfit because that is one of the ones that is racial and also gender specific.
Right.
So
it's also like for female characters, if you ever want like a fancy dress, like just to run around in, it's one of the few that works really well with that because you can dye it any color. It doesn't have to be white. And it just works really well as a fancy dress on all the races, which is nice.
Yeah.
And like Chad's saying, like they kind of brought back all the Cantha stuff, themed skins kind of for the Lunar New Year. And also you'll see starting, like I said, a mix of the Valentine's Day stuff. So Fashion Wars meta.
So the report from the Cantha New Year masks. So there's a few different dragon masks, the regular one. There's an Imperial Dragon mask, a Sinister Dragon mask, and Mirthful? I've never heard of that word in my life. Mirth?
Oh, that was those weird like bug
full
helmets or something.
And happiness.
Mirth? I've never heard that word before. Interesting. And then there was a Tengu mask. And then
that one was really hard to get. I think they did that for one season, but they then brought in the tokens where you could.
I could have sworn there was like another like regular animal, but I guess I'm wrong. It's been a while.
And maybe I'm thinking of the lion mask or something, but
I remember sitting in Xingji Monastery on my assassin for the year the Lion Mask happened very vividly for some reason. I'm not sure why. I don't remember what I was doing, but I just remember being there.
Nice.
Good times.
Also, I'm surprised, like, this kind of came out of nowhere. One of the things that stands out, they also brought back the Central Tyria Waypoint Unlock Package, which it's discounted for 25% off. It's normally 2,000 gems. It's 1,600 gems. It basically gives you all the waypoints in Central Tyria, of course, as the kind of titles.
For your ults.
It's just, yeah, I just still remember.
It's kind of cheap.
When it first came out, I was like, dude, I mean, since it's been out, have people actually bought this? I'm just not a...
I'm sure there are.
Yeah, if you have a lot of alts you move around with, like running around and getting all the waypoints, it takes a while and it's frustrating. So I can see it.
I guess maybe I consider, like, I usually try to map complete on the characters, so...
I don't.
You know what would totally sell? Heart of Thorns waypoint for this.
Yeah,
totally. Yep. Heart of Thorns is the worst.
Yeah, but wouldn't it feel bad? You buy you get this waypoint package. It's like, oh, this one's contested. This one's contested. This one's contested. This one's contested. This one's.
They're all contested.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, I think that's part of the reason why I don't play more of my alts, because like every time I think about it, I'm like, well. Or every time I do, I go and then like I want to move around the world and do something. I'm like, oh, I don't have that unlocked. I don't have that. I have to run there.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll just play one of my other characters. Like literally. Yeah.
I'm not like Age where I have like 7,000 legendaries and I have to do map completion a bunch.
Right.
But sorry, there's somebody knock.
But
sorry,
yeah, I guess
someone's painting upstairs. What was I talking about? What was I talking about?
Not having a lot of legendaries and needing to do map completion for it.
So the only reason I've really needed something like that is because of getting hero points for specializations. That's it. Mm-hmm. And that is really annoying to do.
Chat brings up a good point that there are a lot of trains out there that are gathering the waypoints and also the.
But it's still
that is time consuming.
Time, yeah.
And you get left behind, and you don't have a teleport.
You turn right, and everybody else turns left, and you're like, "Where did everybody go?"
Or you're texting for 2 seconds, and everyone's gone, and you're like, "How do I get there?" Especially with Heart of Thorns, that happens all the time.
Oh
there aren't any hero trains in Path of Fire, are there? Because I mean, they're really like not hard to.
No, I haven't really seen any.
Yeah.
I used to run one in Heart of Thorns for a while. That was a lot of fun. Like that was actually one of the reasons why I didn't mind them making him harder and more group oriented, because it gave me another thing to do regularly that was fun. And like it was always a good experience being like, hey, I'm starting a train. Anybody want to join? Go do them. And that was fun. But I don't know.
But also, like I said earlier, a bunch of unlimited gathering tools were put back in the gem store at 1,000 gems a piece still, so they're not on sale. But if you're looking for different looks, maybe one that goes with the earth shaking mining tool or earth shaker mining tool that we showed off that's new, there was a couple different elemental ones. Like I think there's like a lightning gathering tool type thing, so you can definitely kind of mix and match and get the look that you're going for. I mean, fashion
definitely
wars
try to get those ones that give you materials though. They're definitely the ones that are worth your money. 100%.
Right.
Oh, Chad is saying there are some trains for POF. It's just very rare. So
right.
Yeah, I would understand.
It's not as big of a thing.
They also had they also had a bunch of mini pets ranging from like 300 to 400 gems a piece. I know one of them was the golden pig, so definitely.
The thing is so cute, man. I love it.
It is.
Best mini pet.
No.
Yes. What is the best mini pet?
What is actually the best mini pet?
I think you have an opinion.
Oh, they're so cute. Oh, so many of them. I think I would have to go with one of the little foxes though, because they're the closest that look like a corgi in the game.
trying to like get up to WoW standards and just
right. I've been asking for corgis for years. I mean,
I won't lie. I first off, I was gonna say I guess I do have to give it to you because you are the mini pet like aficionado on the podcast. But When you said that, I think I did specifically buy the Arctic little mini fox or whatever, because it kind of looked like, reminded me of like one of my like little dogs. So I was like, oh, you know. Oh, so I'll give it to you. I bought that one. I bought the golden pig because it's just absolutely hilarious. But.
Yeah, right. I also I'm a big fan of the pet rock with the googly eyes that rolls around after you. Like that never gets old. I never stop laughing at that one.
The Bloodstone one is pretty funny too. Is that a mini though? I know it's an enemy. The Bloodstone mini rock.
I don't know.
I remember it has like, doesn't it have like jagged?
It's the same model with like bloodstones coming out of it.
Right.
I remember seeing the icon, so I swear it's a mini pet. If someone out there in chat knows, but I'm pretty sure that is a mini pet out there. But yeah, so definitely check out the gem store for some of the new stuff, some of the returning stuff, because it seems like all that stuff, or at least most of the stuff, is going away Tuesday. So definitely pick it up if you are interested in it. And like I said, definitely check out the wedding attire, because that is one of the, on multiple characters, because like we said, that is faction, or that is race and also gender specific. Sorry.
Yep.
It is probably one of the best bang for your buck attires.
It's like what, 8 different outfits?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, definitely cool.
So definitely check that out. But last up we have Community Corner. And first up in Community Corner, we have a Guild versus Guild Discord for the public. So we'll throw the Reddit post out there in case people want to check it out themselves. But it looks like they originally were just going to be for the guilds on the EU who regularly guild GVG. But they decided that they wanted to open it to the public so that anyone who is interested in Guild vs. Guild, whether as a spectator or actually wanting to start playing with a guild themselves, will have a place to find that information. So, but it does look like they actually put a note there that it is predominantly the EU guilds. If you are playing on the NA, they do state that they won't be able to make a guild role for you. So, if you are on the NA side, it still sounds like it's a useful place for just information. And, you know, maybe getting tips and whatnot. So definitely check that out if you're interested in the Guild vs. Guild scene until they give us proper GVG. I mean, maybe it's a hint. Guild Wars 1 Complete Edition, hinting at Guild vs. Guild.
But the game's named Guild Wars, so wouldn't that be that?
Oh my God, don't start that.
But also, we have the Vigil Sisters, episode 90, Games, Love, and Life, who is a regular on the show. She actually put out a video. We've talked about their series in the past, basically going through the Vigil personal story, but it looks like they've finally, spoiler, defeated Zaitan, but they are going onward. Well, this takes place in the beginning of season 2, where they're trying to figure out what Scarlet's doing in Drytop. So, but she actually is doing this one solo. So you'll have to actually watch that video and find out yourself. Which I will throw the link in chat for people in case they want to see it. Or once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, link will be in the description. But yeah, that looks like it is it for this week. I mean, Anthony, since you are a guest here, is there anything Guild Wars 2 related that you're potentially doing?
Not right.
Or if you know someone that you would want to plug,
Tomorrow I'm actually doing something kind of Guild Wars related. So I'm doing a podcast. I'm just calling it the MMO cast, where I get a few of my friends and we basically have a nostalgia bomb of all the MMOs we played, and Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 will definitely be discussed.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, is that going to be with the Delco Nerd Network thing that we were talking about?
Yeah. So
awesome.
You can follow us at twitch.tv/Delco Nerd Network or on Twitter at Delco Nerds. And that is
if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll definitely have that in the description as well, so you can follow that.
Yeah, it should be a fun time to just throw back, because that's always fun to really talk about MMOs that you played years ago. And just
trust me, we
do
that all the time.
Yeah,
we were doing it during the show.
Exactly.
So Yeah, definitely. I'll have to check that out. So that looks like that is it for this week. So Robin, where can they find you?
You can find me at Arlie82 on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Yay. Oh, and I have the Guild Wars 2 column for MMORPG this week, so we're writing about something there on Friday.
Awesome. Can't wait to hear, or can't wait to see, can't wait to read. I don't even know what form is it coming in. We'll have to find out Friday.
It's an article, Dale.
On paper,
I was giving him a
the
cliffhanger. Yeah. Is it gonna be on Forbes? No, I'm done. I'm stopping. Anyway, Anthony, where can they find you?
You can find me at the Gooch. Put an underscore between before and after each word, and you should find me. And then that is my Instagram as well. My podcast YouTube channel is Delco Network. If you just put that in the search bar, you should find us. And again, our Twitter is Delco Nerds.
Awesome. And you can find me at simply_Deo on Twitch and Twitter. I was playing Warframe last night. I want to finish Destiny 2 or make it a good chunk way further with my Brainwave device through the story. I have access to Anthem. Might do that this Friday or whenever it drops. Don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, the chart. We gotta consult the chart.
If the chart allows me.
Bring up the chart.
But yeah, if you are popping at the very end, do stick around. We do a bit of after show, which is more kind of free form, where we'll talk about more Guild Wars 2 stuff, gaming in general, anything, kind of anything goes. But we'd love to have you. If you want to watch this in full, we do highlight it on Twitch, just twitch.tv/MAADrealms, 2 A's in the MAAD. And if you want to watch us on YouTube, if that's your preferred platform, just go to youtube.com/MAADrealms. Once again, 2 A's in the MAAD. And that will go up on Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And we also post Vote to Kick there, which is on Wednesdays. If you just missed the last one, like I said, Anthony was on that with Mal'Thanis. And they were talking about narrative and all that stuff. So definitely check that out. Cast your vote if you want to keep it in gaming or get rid of it. But if you want to find all this stuff in one nice little compact place, go to MAADrealms, 2 A's in the MAAD.com, and there we have this podcast. It goes up right when we release it on YouTube, but we also put the audio version of the podcast on there. So if you want it in audio format, which I know people have been asking for, you can get it there. And yeah, that looks like it is it for this week. So we'll see everybody in the game. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.